Hey folks, Phantom Fixer here with you again, doing another sort of unboxing, looking at the components. This time, it's of the Age of Sigmar Warlord Edition of the General's Handbook 2017. This one is just the standard General's Handbook, the same one that's printed everywhere else, but it's got some interesting toys that come with it that I think are actually pretty valuable. So I'll go over them here real quick, show you what's in the box. It's kind of cool. So here it is on the table. This is the cardboard box that the Warlord Edition comes in. So without further ado, now here's what you get. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top actually. What you get is a General's Handbook 2017. We've all kind of seen this. I'm not going to go into any details about good or bad or yay or nay or what have you. It is what it is, and it's what we got for a year. Next up, this is something I thought was strange, is there is a pad of 50 pitched battle army roster sheets. Just the regular sheets. I don't know, it's good for, jotting down notes and ideas and stuff as I'm sort of plowing through list building and what have you. I mean, with most of the tournaments and all the other things these days, doing electronic submission, I don't know how useful this is going to be. It is. It's handy and it's nice. It's 50 of them. What the heck? Didn't cost them that much. Next up, said it was going from the bottom to the top, is you have this sheet of markers. On this side, you have objective markers, some star ore markers. I would imagine that's for the little stunty guys. Battle shock markers, and then some different combat markers, +1 to hit, +1 to wound, reroll saves, reroll wounds, reroll to hit, and +1 to cast. Then they have these great little 9-inch summoning rulers. Since almost all summoning in the game now is 9 inches away, they become very handy. Now, I have some of the other measures from Corsair Engineering that I use for my 9-inch, but still, it's nice to have these. They're by no means going to be useless. And then a couple inspiring presents and mystic shields on the back. Same thing. It's just repeated on the back. So just handy little sheet of markers. They're pretty thick. I don't know if I can show you how thick that is, but they're pretty beefy. They're not gonna fold up and blow away in a stiff breeze. Next up is something that I thought was very cool. This is the turn number counter, and it has one for both players. And all you have to do is just rotate it through the turns. And this way you don't lose track of whose turn it is and whether you're in the top or bottom of the turn, or, especially if somebody steals initiative or what have you. I've always used like dice or something to mark it, but then somebody picks up the die or you forget it on the table. I think this is kind of cool. It's pretty sturdy cardboard. It's not plastic or anything, but as long as you're not throwing it around and dunk it in a pool, it'll hold up. And then of course they do the same thing for victory points. Player 1, player 2. This one goes all the way up to 20. Very cool. I like those. I'm kind of enamored with them. They're very nice. Then you have the different sets of cards. You have the cards for the Coalition of Death, the cards for Triumph and Treachery, and the pitched battle cards. Now, what these pitched battle cards are, it's the triumphs that you always forget when you have them in a game. Now you'll have a card that hopefully you'll remember to use them. I know I don't think I've ever remembered to use a triumph if I had one during the game. The Coalition of Death cards are discussed in the handbook, and they come in quite handy. And of course the Triumph and Treachery cards have the point costs on each one of them. So very handy, very cool little addition. Helps out in the new General's Handbook setup. I think they're very cool. Neat little addition. And then you have the big pack of cards. Kind of cool art. Stormcast on Chaos action there. So, it's not pouring. Get your mind out of the gutter. But anyway, it has the pitched battle. You'll notice there's 6 of them. The pitched battle cards, each one with the scenario on it. Cool little reference for the scenario. I wish they had printed up the ones from the old General's Handbook, because we're probably still going to be playing those. But at least the 2017 scenarios are here. And then you have the same thing for the Coalition Death scenarios. So again, it's just the scenarios. And same thing with Triumph and Treachery, the scenarios for those. So very cool, very handy little references to have on the table. About the same size as the, the War Scroll cards and all that stuff. And then you have Realm Gate Wars scenarios. Whole bunch of them. And again, just reference for the different scenarios. You got the Relief Force to bind the storm, Fleeting Fealty, Against the Horde, Through the Breach, The Beast Run, and The Key to Victory. So the scenarios that are in the handbook are here. So it's a very cool little set of cards. I think they really hit it out of the park with this Warlords edition. The whole thing all told was $75. I definitely think you get your money's worth with all the little components that are in here. Nothing here is something that you can't play the game without. None of this is required, but it's all good to have. So anyway, that's the overview of the Warlord Edition. For the price, I highly recommend it. It's good to have stuff. Again, not have to have, but good to have. That would be that. Thanks, guys. See ya.